I'm Krista Tippett. This hour, we revisit my conversation with Chinese-American writer Anchee Min. Anchee Min was born in Shanghai in 1957 in a China ruled by Communist Party chairman Mao Zedong. She spent time as a teenager in a forced labor camp and was plucked out to play Mao's infamous wife in propaganda movies.
I was taught to write "I love you, Chairman Mao" before I was taught to write my own name. I never thought I belonged to myself. There was never "I love you, Papa," and "I love you, Mama." It's always "I love you, Communist Party of China. I love you, Chairman Mao." What I want to say is that Mao was our religion.
In 1966, when Anchee Min was 9 years old, Mao officially launched the Cultural Revolution. He created the Red Guards, harnessing the zeal of youth to enforce an anti-intellectual ideology in every corner of Chinese society. Children denounced parents, neighbors denounced neighbors. As a devoted teenage member of the Red Guard, Anchee Min was sent to a forced labor camp to learn the higher calling of becoming a peasant for the greater good of China and the world. Here's how she introduces that period of her life in her memoir, Red Azalea.
When I was 17, life changed to a different world. The school's vice principal had a talk with me after his talks with many others. He told me that he wanted to remind me that I was a student leader, a model to the graduates. The policy was there as strict as math equations. He told me that I belonged to one category, the category of becoming a peasant. He said it was an unalterable decision. The policy from Beijing was a holy instruction. It was universally accepted. It was incumbent upon me to obey. He said he had sent 4 of his own children to work in the countryside. He was very proud of them. He said that 20 million Chinese worked on these farms. He said many more words of abstractions, words like songs. He said when one challenges heaven, it brings pleasure. When one challenges the earth, it brings pleasure. When one challenges one's own kind, it brings the biggest pleasure. He was reciting the poem by Mao. He said a true communist would love to take challenges. She would take it with dignity. I was 17. I was inspired. I was eager to devote myself. I was looking forward to hardship.
I know there's a line in Red Azalea you wrote about how ennobling this was as a young person, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you said, "Not for a day did I not feel heroic."
Right.
Yeah.
We were taught if you can sacrifice your loved ones, if you can denounce your parents, if you can denounce your favorite teacher, you are capable of greater love for the humanity. Because the smaller love you feel this person, because this person is proven to be American spy, and your parents is proven to be the enemy of our society. And then it's always like a good battles the evil, and then we want the good to win. It's such a grand disguise, and things got messed up. And in the meantime, as the executor of such greatness, I didn't feel good. I was crying when I was denouncing my favorite teacher. It was tearing myself apart.
Anchee Min was just 11 when the local secretary of the Communist Party coerced her to denounce her most beloved teacher, whose name was Autumn Leaves. She knew her teacher's life would be ruined, but on a stage before an assembly of 2,000, she called her a class enemy and an American spy. Here's part of that story from Anchee Min's memoir, Red Azalea.
Autumn Leaves called my name and asked if I really believed that she was an enemy of the country. If I did not think so, could I tell her who assigned me to do the speech? She said she wanted the truth. She said Chairman Mao always liked to have children show their honesty. She asked me with the exact same tone she used when she helped me with my homework. Her eyes were demanding me to focus on them. I could not bear looking at her eyes. They had looked at me when the magic of mathematics was explained. They had looked at me when the beautiful Little Mermaid story was told. When I won the first place in the calculation with abacus competition, they had looked at me with joy. When I was ill, they had looked at me with sympathy and love. I had not realized the true value of what all this meant to me until I lost it forever that day at the meeting. I heard people shouting at me. My head felt like a boiling teapot. Autumn Leaves' eyes behind the thick glasses now were like gun barrels shooting at me with fire. "Just be honest," her hoarse voice raised to its extreme. I turned to Secretary Chang. He nodded at me as if to say, "Are you going to lose to an enemy?" He was smiling scornfully. "Think about the snake," he said. Yes, the snake. I remembered. It was a story Mao told in his book. It was about a peasant who found a frozen snake lying in his path on a snowy day. The snake had the most beautiful skin the peasant had ever seen. He felt sorry for her and decided to save her life. He picked up the snake and put her into his jacket to warm her with the heat of his body. Soon the snake woke up and felt hungry. She bit her savior. The peasant died. "Our chairman's point is," Secretary Chang said as he ended the story, "to our enemy we must be absolutely cruel and merciless." From Anchee Min's memoir, Red Azalea.